Your evening cortisol levels might be sabotaging your rest in ways you never imagined. Recent research from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, published in 2023, revealed something shocking. Adults over 70 experience cortisol spikes up to 47% higher at night compared to younger adults. This isn't just about feeling restless. Elevated nighttime cortisol directly blocks your brain's natural sleep signals and keeps you wide awake when you should be in deep restoration mode. But here's where it gets really interesting. Scientists at the University of Leeds discovered that certain vegetables contain specific compounds that actively lower cortisol production within just 90 minutes of consumption. These aren't expensive supplements or prescription medications. They're simple vegetables you probably walk past at the grocery store every single week. The most powerful one on our list today showed cortisol reductions of 31% in clinical trials with participants over 65. We'll reveal exactly which vegetable took the top spot and why researchers are calling it a natural sleep reset button for aging adults. You can find all research and medical studies in the description below if you'd like to dive deeper after watching. Before we begin, tell us in the comments now your age and where you're watching us from. We're reading and replying to every single comment, so drop your comments below. Now, let's get started. Number 5. Cucumber. Starting at number 5, we have cucumber. And before you dismiss this as too simple to be effective, listen to what the research actually shows. Cucumbers contain a compound called cucurbitacin, along with high levels of magnesium and potassium that work together to regulate your body's stress response system. A 2022 study from the European Journal of Nutrition tracked 156 adults aged 68 to 79 who consumed cucumbers in the evening. The results were remarkable. After just 2 weeks, participants showed an average cortisol reduction of 18% when measured between 9 p.m. and midnight. The cooling effect of cucumbers isn't just about temperature. It actually triggers your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of your body responsible for rest and digest mode as opposed to fight or flight. The magnesium in cucumbers is particularly important here because as we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing this crucial mineral. By age 70, magnesium absorption can drop by up to 30% compared to someone in their 30s. This matters for sleep because magnesium directly influences GABA receptors in your brain. GABA is your main calming neurotransmitter, and without enough magnesium, these receptors don't function properly. One medium cucumber contains about 22 milligrams of magnesium along with 195 milligrams of potassium. The potassium helps balance sodium levels, which tends to spike in older adults and contribute to nighttime restlessness. For maximum benefit, eat your cucumber about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Don't peel it because the skin contains the highest concentration of beneficial compounds. Slice it thin and add a tiny pinch of sea salt, which actually helps your body absorb the minerals more effectively. Some people like to add a splash of apple cider vinegar, which creates a quick pickle effect and may enhance the magnesium absorption even further. You want to aim for about 1 full medium cucumber in the evening. You can eat it as a simple salad or even blend it into a smoothie with some mint leaves. The water content in cucumber is also beneficial because mild dehydration can elevate cortisol by up to 15%, according to research from the Journal of Applied Physiology. Just make sure you finish eating it at least an hour before lying down so you're not waking up for bathroom trips in the middle of the night. Now let's move to number 4, which targets a different cortisol pathway entirely. Number 4, celery. Celery at number 4 might surprise you because most people think of it as basically water and fiber with little nutritional value. That couldn't be further from the truth when it comes to nighttime cortisol control. Celery contains a unique compound called 3N-butylphthalide, or 3NB for short. This compound has been extensively studied for its effect on stress hormones. Research published in the Journal of Medicinal Food in 2023 examined 132 participants over age 70 who consumed celery extract equivalent to 4 stalks of fresh celery each evening. After 28 days, their average nighttime cortisol levels dropped by 23%. Even more impressive was that 78% of participants reported falling asleep faster and waking up fewer times during the night. The mechanism here is fascinating. The 3-NB compound works by reducing the activity of your adrenal glands, which are the organs responsible for pumping out cortisol. As we age, these glands can become overactive, especially in the evening hours. This creates a vicious cycle where high cortisol prevents sleep and poor sleep triggers even more cortisol production. Celery helps break that cycle by calming down the adrenal response. It also contains apigenin, which is a flavonoid that binds to the same brain receptors as some anti-anxiety medications, but without any of the side effects or dependency issues. Celery is also packed with vitamin K, with just 4 stalks, providing about 155% of your daily needs. This matters because vitamin K plays a role in regulating calcium metabolism, and proper calcium balance is essential for normal cortisol rhythms. Older adults often have disrupted calcium signaling, which throws off their entire hormonal clock. The natural sodium in celery, about 88 milligrams per cup, also supports adrenal function in a healthy way, unlike processed table salt. To get the cortisol-lowering benefits, you need to consume celery raw because cooking destroys much of the 3-NB compound. Aim for 4 to 5 medium stalks about 2 hours before bed. You can eat them plain or dip them in a small amount of almond butter for added magnesium and healthy fats that slow digestion and provide steady benefits through the night. Some people juice their celery, but eating it whole is actually better because the fiber slows down absorption and prevents blood sugar spikes that could interfere with sleep. If you find celery too stringy, cut it into small pieces and chew thoroughly. The act of chewing itself can be calming and signals to your body that it's time to wind down. Make sure you wash celery very well because it's one of the vegetables that tends to have higher pesticide residues, or buy organic if possible. Let's talk about number 3, which works on your brain chemistry in a completely different way. Number 3, spinach. This leafy green is an absolute powerhouse for controlling nighttime cortisol through multiple pathways simultaneously. The key players here are magnesium, folate, and a lesser-known compound called glycolipid. A major study from the Nutrition Research Journal in 2024 followed 214 adults aged 71 to 82 who ate 2 cups of cooked spinach in the evening. After just 3 weeks, researchers measured an average cortisol reduction of 26% during peak nighttime hours between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. The participants also showed improved sleep efficiency scores, increasing from an average of 71% to 84%. What makes spinach particularly effective is its incredibly high magnesium content. Just 1 cup of cooked spinach provides 157 milligrams of magnesium, which is about 40% of the daily requirement for older adults. This is critical because studies show that nearly 60% of people over 70 are deficient in magnesium. When your magnesium levels are low, your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which controls cortisol production, becomes hyperactive. Spinach helps restore normal function to this system. The folate in spinach is equally important, with 1 cup providing 263 micrograms, or about 66% of your daily needs. Folate is essential for producing serotonin and melatonin, which are the neurotransmitters that regulate your sleep-wake cycle. The glycolipids in spinach have been shown in laboratory studies to reduce inflammation markers that can trigger cortisol release. Chronic low-grade inflammation is extremely common in older adults, and it's one of the hidden causes of sleep disruption. By reducing inflammation, spinach addresses one of the root causes of elevated nighttime cortisol rather than just masking symptoms. Spinach also contains small amounts of tryptophan, which your body converts into serotonin and then melatonin as the evening progresses. For maximum cortisol-crushing benefits, you want to eat your spinach cooked rather than raw. Cooking breaks down the cell walls and makes the magnesium and other minerals much more bioavailable. Steam or lightly sauté 2 cups of fresh spinach, which will cook down to about half a cup. Add a small amount of healthy fat like olive oil or a few slices of avocado, because the fat-soluble vitamins in spinach, including vitamin K, need fat to be absorbed properly. Eat this about 90 minutes to 2 hours before bed. Some people worry about the oxalates in spinach affecting calcium absorption, but this is only a concern if you're eating massive amounts daily. For evening cortisol control, the benefits far outweigh any minimal oxalate concerns. If you're on blood thinners, check with your doctor about vitamin K intake, but for most people, spinach is incredibly safe and effective. You can also mix spinach into a light evening soup or add it to a small omelette if you prefer to have protein with your vegetables. Number 2 is where things get even more interesting with a vegetable that directly impacts your sleep hormones. Number 2. Asparagus. Asparagus takes the number 2 spot, and for good reason. This vegetable contains a unique combination of compounds that make it exceptionally effective at lowering nighttime cortisol while simultaneously boosting your natural melatonin production. Research from the International Journal of Sleep Disorders, published in 2023, studied 189 participants between ages 68 and 81 who consumed asparagus in the evening. The results were striking. After 4 weeks, participants experienced an average cortisol reduction of 28%, measured at bedtime, and their natural melatonin levels increased by an average of 34%. Sleep quality scores improved dramatically, with 81% of participants reporting deeper, more restorative sleep. The secret behind asparagus is its high concentration of folate combined with vitamin C and E plus a specific amino acid called asparagine. Just 6 medium spears of asparagus provide 134 micrograms of folate, which is about 34% of your daily requirement. This folate works synergistically with the B vitamins in asparagus to support the methylation process in your body. Methylation is crucial for breaking down and clearing excess cortisol from your bloodstream. As we age, methylation efficiency can decline by up to 40%, which means cortisol stays elevated longer than it should. Asparagus helps restore proper methylation function. The asparagine in asparagus is particularly interesting because it acts as a natural diuretic, but in a gentle way that doesn't cause the harsh effects of pharmaceutical diuretics. This is important because fluid retention can increase cortisol levels, especially in older adults who may have compromised kidney function. By gently reducing excess fluid, asparagus helps normalize cortisol rhythms. The antioxidants in asparagus, particularly glutathione, also protect your adrenal glands from oxidative stress, which can cause them to overproduce cortisol. One of the most remarkable things about asparagus is its effect on the gut-brain axis. Recent research has shown that asparagus contains prebiotic fibers called inulin that feed beneficial gut bacteria. These bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that directly communicate with your brain to reduce stress responses and cortisol production. A healthy gut microbiome is essential for normal cortisol rhythms, and asparagus supports this in a powerful way. To maximize the cortisol-lowering effects, eat asparagus lightly steamed or roasted. You want about 6 to 8 medium spears consumed roughly 2 hours before bedtime. Don't overcook them because excessive heat destroys the folate and other heat-sensitive nutrients. Steam for just 4 to 5 minutes until they're tender, but still slightly crisp. Add a small drizzle of olive oil and a squeeze of lemon juice. The vitamin C in lemon enhances the absorption of the other nutrients in asparagus. Some people worry about the distinctive odor that asparagus can cause in urine, but this is completely harmless and actually indicates that your body is properly processing the beneficial compounds. If you're taking any medications, asparagus is generally very safe, but the vitamin K content means you should maintain consistent intake if you're on blood thinners. You can eat asparagus at room temperature or even cold as part of an evening salad if you prefer. And now for the number one vegetable that research shows is the most powerful cortisol crusher for better sleep. Number 1. Sweet potato. Sweet potato claims the top spot as the most effective bedtime vegetable for crushing cortisol and promoting deep restorative sleep in adults over 70. The science behind this is absolutely compelling. A groundbreaking 2024 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry tracked 267 participants aged 70 to 85 who consumed one medium sweet potato each evening. After 6 weeks, the results were phenomenal. Participants showed an average nighttime cortisol reduction of 31%, and objective sleep measurements using wrist actigraphy devices showed that total sleep time increased by an average of 52 minutes per night. Even more impressive was that deep sleep stages increased by 38% compared to baseline measurements. What makes sweet potato so exceptionally powerful is its unique nutritional profile that addresses cortisol from multiple angles simultaneously. Sweet potatoes are incredibly rich in magnesium, with one medium potato providing about 31 milligrams. But more importantly, they contain high levels of potassium at 542 milligrams per medium potato. This potassium to sodium ratio is crucial for regulating your body's stress response system. They're also loaded with vitamin B6, which is essential for converting tryptophan into serotonin and melatonin. One medium sweet potato provides about 0.3 milligrams of B6, which is roughly 20% of your daily needs. The real magic in sweet potatoes comes from their complex carbohydrate structure and their effect on insulin and blood sugar. When you eat a sweet potato in the evening, it causes a gentle, sustained rise in blood sugar, which triggers a specific insulin response. This insulin response facilitates the transport of tryptophan across the blood-brain barrier. Once in your brain, tryptophan converts to serotonin and then to melatonin over the course of a few hours. This is why sweet potato works best when eaten about 2 to 3 hours before bed. The timing allows for optimal melatonin production right when you need it most. Sweet potatoes also contain high amounts of beta, carotene, and other carotenoids that act as powerful antioxidants. These compounds protect your hypothalamus and pituitary gland from oxidative damage. These brain structures control your entire hormonal system, including cortisol production. By protecting them from damage, sweet potatoes help maintain normal, healthy cortisol rhythms. The fiber in sweet potatoes, about 4 grams per medium potato, also feeds beneficial gut bacteria that produce GABA, which is your brain's main calming neurotransmitter. Research has shown that sweet potatoes have a glycemic index of only 63, which is considered medium. But when eaten with the skin on and with a small amount of fat, the glycemic response becomes even more gradual and sustained. This prevents the blood sugar crashes that can trigger cortisol spikes in the middle of the night. Many older adults experience what's called nocturnal hypoglycemia, where blood sugar drops during sleep and triggers a cortisol release that wakes them up. Sweet potato helps prevent this completely. To get the maximum cortisol-crushing sleep-promoting benefits, eat one medium sweet potato baked or roasted with the skin on about 2.5 to 3 hours before your target bedtime. Don't boil sweet potatoes because this causes nutrient loss into the cooking water. Baking concentrates the nutrients and creates the ideal slow-digesting carbohydrate structure you want. You can add a small amount of cinnamon, which has been shown to further stabilize blood sugar, or a tiny bit of coconut oil, which provides healthy fats that slow digestion even more. Avoid adding sugar, honey, or maple syrup, because these will spike your blood sugar too quickly and defeat the purpose. The natural sweetness of the potato is more than enough. Some people prefer to eat their sweet potato as part of a small balanced dinner, paired with some leafy greens and a palm-sized portion of protein. This is perfectly fine and may actually enhance the benefits by providing additional nutrients that support the conversion of tryptophan to melatonin. The key is to make the sweet potato the star of your evening meal and not just a small side dish. You need that full medium potato to get the cortisol-lowering effects shown in research. If you have diabetes or blood sugar concerns, monitor your levels. But research shows that sweet potatoes actually improve insulin sensitivity over time when consumed regularly in appropriate portions. The consistency is important too. The studies showing the most dramatic results had participants eating sweet potato every single evening for at least 4 weeks. This is because the cortisol-regulating effects build over time as your body's circadian rhythms reset and your adrenal glands recalibrate to healthier patterns. You're essentially retraining your hormonal system to function the way it did when you were younger. So there you have it. 5 powerful vegetables ranked from good to absolutely exceptional for crushing nighttime cortisol and helping you sleep through the night after 70. Start with sweet potato as your foundation and add the others throughout your week for comprehensive cortisol control. Your sleep quality could transform in ways you haven't experienced in years. If you found this information helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our science-backed health content. Drop a comment below and let us know which vegetable you're going to try first tonight. Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.